Alright, what's happening everybody? It's your boy Keenan. Welcome to the Pro Football Exclusive College Football Blog. We are on week 2 of the college football season, and I need to give you all my key matches for this week. I apologize for not posting a video yesterday because there was a key match between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I honestly tell you, I would have went with the Cincinnati Bearcats in that matchup. But there's still a couple of good matches that you need to watch this week. I have at least 15 matches to talk about for today's vlog. Starting at noon, upset alert tomorrow between Miami and K-State. K-State's the 21st ranked team in the nation. This is a good team led by quarterback Collin Klein. Now last week against Missouri State, the Wildcats somewhat struggled in the first half, but ended up bouncing back, pulling off the 51-9 victory. Now for Miami, they had a good victory at Boston College, 42-31. That was a good game from the Miami Hurricanes, especially with true freshman Duke Johnson, who rushed for 135 yards on 7 carries. This guy is a beast, and he is a good upcoming freshman in the ACC Conference. Now, I believe that this Hurricane team can upset the Kansas State Wildcats, but I'm still going to stick with Kansas State in this game. I think because of what happened last week, they realized that they can't screw things up. But I think this, like I said before, they are a disciplined team. I think they're going to regroup, get everything back together, and play full force all game. Now, I have to go with the Wildcats in this one because they know that Miami is going to be tough competition. Same time at noon, NC State's going to be traveling to Connecticut. The Wolfpack lost to Tennessee last week, and I think they're going to rebound from that game against the Connecticut Huskies. One player they need to worry about is Lyle McCombs, but I think they're going to contain that running game, and I think they're going to do well this week against the pass. So I'm going to have to go with the Wolfpack in that game. Next game to look at, Maryland's going to be traveling to Temple to face the Owls. Last season, Bernard Pierce ran all over the Terps at Byrd Stadium. So this year, Maryland's looking to get that revenge. But I'm going to go with Temple in this matchup. I do like running back Matt Brown. He rushed for over 140 yards last week. Also, Maryland struggled against William and Mary, in which they barely beat them, squeaked by with a 7-6 victory. Now, going back to the Temple Owls in that running game, I was really looking forward to see how well Monte Harris was going to perform. But I had him. I even had him as one of my key players to watch in the Big East Conference this season. But Matt Brown has been taking that starting role at running back for the Owls, and has been losing reps for Montel Harris, so I'm pretty unsure what's going to happen this season with his performance. He's still going to get enough carries, but I don't think he's going to be too much to really boost up his NFL draft status because of Matt Brown's position as that starting running back. So he's still going to get some carries split towards Montel Harris. But for this matchup, I'm going to have to go with Temple because Maryland struggled last week against William and Mary. Next game to look at, Penn State's going to be traveling to Virginia to face the Cavaliers. Penn State had an upset last week against Ohio. This week they're traveling to Virginia, and this is a good Virginia team led by Coach Mike London. And one player in particular that I like is Michael Rocco, the quarterback for the Cavaliers. Passed for over 300 yards last week. Plus they have a good running back in Perry Jones. I think Penn State is going to be struggling in this matchup, so I'm going to have to go with the Cavaliers in this one, giving Penn State their second straight loss. Next game to look at, this could be an interesting SEC matchup, and this will be an interesting SEC matchup between Auburn and Mississippi State. Mississippi State has a good head coach and Dan Mullen, and they could be a sleeper as well with Vanderbilt for the SEC championship. They had a great display last week in their first game, posted up 60 points. I think this is a good Bulldog team, but I really like Auburn's play last week against Clemson, even though I did predict it correctly that Clemson was going to win that match. I did like the quarterback display from Kyle Frazier. He had a pretty good performance, and I think he's connecting well with Emory Blake. It's just that Ontario McKellum, he needs to be that X factor. He needs to be that go-to guy, that star weapon for that offense. I think Auburn's going to bounce back and win this game against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Next game to look at, this could be another upset alert. East Carolina is going to be traveling to South Carolina to face the Gamecocks. Gamecocks barely squeaked by last week against Vanderbilt, but I think they're going to regroup. One player that I'm concerned is Connor Shaw. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury, but he should be able to play tomorrow, so I don't think the Gamecocks should worry too much about that. Plus, they still got Marcus Lattimore, rushed for over 100 yards last week, and I think he's due for another 100-yard game, so I'm going to have to go with the Gamecocks in that matchup. Later on Saturday, North Carolina is going to be traveling to Wake Forest. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels in this matchup. I do like their offensive weapons, particularly at quarterback with Brent Brenner. He's a good quarterback, and he could be a sleeper for the ACC Player of the Year this season. Later on in that day, USC, the number 2 team in the nation, is going to be traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey, Giant Stadium to face the Syracuse Orangemen. Now, this game can have a chance of having a good passing display by both quarterbacks, Matt Barkley of USC and Ryan Nassib out of the Syracuse Orangemen. He had a big game last week when they lost by 1 point to Northwestern, 42-41. But he had a great game, passed for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. I really like this guy a lot. He had a good performance that's showing he's getting more comfortable in that pocket, more comfortable with that offense, and I think he could be a good player in the upcoming NFL drafts. We'll see. I'm going to see how well he's going to perform, but I believe that with his confidence increasing, he could do well for the Syracuse Orangemen, and they could probably sneak their way for a Big East championship. But I think they're going to lose this game because USC has way too many weapons, so I'm going to have to go with the Trojans in this game. Next game to look at, Notre Dame, the number 22 team in the nation, is going to be hosting Purdue. Notre Dame had a splendid performance last week in Ireland against Navy. They had a big game, and I think that momentum is going to carry on to this game. So I'm going to have to go with the Fighting Irish in that matchup. Next game to look at on same day on Saturday, 6:30. This could be another upset alert game between Fresno State and number 4 Oregon. The reason why I said that, because Fresno State has some pretty good players, starting with their quarterback Derek Carr, set 26 touchdowns last season, won 9 interceptions. Plus they have an outstanding running back in Robbie Rouse. I think they have a chance of performing well in this matchup, giving you some good tough yardage, and hopefully try to keep that offense off of the field from Oregon. But I'm still going to stick with the Ducks. I think the defense is going to do just good enough. I have the Ducks probably winning by at least 17 points in this game. This team still has a high explosive offense with Kenyon Barner, DeAnthony Thomas, and I do like their quarterback, Mariota, the freshman quarterback. He's still going to be splitting a little bit of time with Brian Bennett, but it is Mariota's team, and he's that go-to guy at quarterback. I did like his play last week, and I think he's going to continue on this season, getting more and more experience. I'm still going to stick with the Ducks in this matchup. Next game to look at, UCLA Bruins is going to be hosting number 16 Nebraska. Nebraska's probably going to have to play is going to have to play without star running back Rex Burkhead. He rushed for over 1,300 yards last season, which means Amir Abdullah is going to have to step up at the running game. He averaged 5.4 yards per carry in their win last week against Southern Miss. I think he can do well, but the thing I do like about Nebraska is that Taylor Martinez, he looks a little bit more comfortable as a pocket passer. He didn't really get that too many reps passing the football last week against the Golden Eagles, but he did show a little bit better presence at the quarterback position when it came to dropping back for passes. I think he's a little bit more comfortable with offense, and don't forget, he is still a good time dual threat quarterback. Now for the UCLA Bruins, they have a pretty good quarterback as well, and Brett Hundley. He passed for over 200 yards last week in the win against Rice, and they have a star running back in Jonathan Franklin. He's looking to make all Pac-12 this season. He rushed for over 200 yards last week against the Rice Owls, and he had an outstanding matchup. Now the key for Nebraska, I really think they need to put the pressure more on Brett Hundley and stop the run. Stop Jonathan Franklin and put the ball and put everything on Brett Hundley's shoulders. He does not have too much experience at the quarterback position for the Bruins, so with less experience, he doesn't really know what it takes to win a game under pressure, and this is going to be a big test for them. Put the ball in Brett Hundley's hands and make everything on his efforts. That's going to be key for Nebraska, and I think they're going to win this matchup at UCLA. Next game to look at, number 5 Oklahoma is going to be hosting Florida A&M. Florida A&M, he's a lower team, and Oklahoma struggled last week against UTEP. If they do not win significantly in this matchup, I'm going to really be questioning the Oklahoma Sooners for the remainder of the season, and I think they need to give you, and all of you Oklahoma fans need to start worrying if they struggle against Florida A&M. I don't think so. I think they're going to win dominantly, and I'm going to have to go with the Sooners in this matchup. Boomer Sooner all the way. Next game to look at is a good game between Vanderbilt and Northwestern. Northwestern came off a 1-point victory in that great game last week against Syracuse, but they're going to be struggling against Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is an excellent team. I like this team a lot. They play hard throughout the game, and they have some pretty good weapons with Jordan Rodgers, Jordan Matthews, and running back Zach Stacy. I think Zach Stacy's going to have a better performance this week and then as he did against the South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm going to have to go with Vanderbilt in this matchup. Next game to look at, Arizona's going to be hosting Oklahoma State. Now, Arizona struggled last week against Toledo. They barely pulled off escape with a 24-17 victory due to a good efforts from Matt Scott, the quarterback for the Wildcats. But I think they're going to struggle bad against this Oklahoma State team who posted up 84 points against Savannah State. And I think this is the highest scoring offense from Oklahoma State. I have to go with the Cowboys all the way in this game. Next game to look at, Arizona State's going to be hosting Illinois. Arizona, I have to give a shout out to Justin Godfrey. He's one of our anchors for this channel, the Pro Football Exclusive. He's a big Arizona State fan, and I'm going to go with the Arizona State Sun Devils. They do have a pretty good quarterback in Taylor Kelly. He lacks as much experience, but he is still a good quarterback, and they have a well-balanced offense with the running game, especially with Cameron Marshall. He rushed for over 1,000 yards last season, but last week he had 2 rushing touchdowns. I think he's going to be more into the mix in the running game, and they have a well-balanced offense. One thing they do need to worry about is that defense from Illinois. Illinois ended up beating Western Michigan last week 24-7, and they held star quarterback Alex Carter to 239 yards passing last week, and he's an NFL prospect for the 2013 NFL Draft. He's a good quarterback, and they held him to 239 yards. So Taylor Kelly needs to be on the lookout, but I think they're going to get the job done because of a well-balanced offensive attack. Now it's time for me to give you my upset pick of the week. I'm going to actually go with Texas A&M over the number 24 ranked team in the nation, the Florida Gators. Florida is a pretty good team. They're still rebounding, still getting more comfortable with all the players under new head coach Will Muschamp. This is Will Muschamp's second season, but he's still having a quarterback battle with Jeff Driscoll and Jacoby Briscoe. Both these two players are still going to be duking it out for that starting quarterback position. This position is still up for grabs, but Jeff Driscoll is going to be starting in this matchup against the Aggies. Now the Aggies, this is their first season in the SEC Conference, and they have a new head coach and Kevin Sumlin out of the Houston Cougars. He's a good coach, and I think he's going to uplift this offense and surprise a lot of people with their first game in the SEC Conference. So I have to go with the Aggies over the Gators as my upset pick of the week for week 2 of the college football season. And last but not least, the game of the week. Number 6, Georgia Bulldogs is going to be traveling to Mizzou to face the Missouri Tigers. And I'm really intrigued to see what happens in this matchup, because just like Texas A&M, this is also Missouri's first game as an SEC member and an SEC showdown against an outstanding Georgia Bulldog team, especially with that defense who reloaded what they had last season with Jones, Bacardi, Rambo. They have an outstanding defense. Now, they struggled last week against the run. Brandon Oliver of Buffalo, he rushed for over 100 yards last week. So I think Missouri is going to be focusing on that running game, especially with dual threat quarterback James Franklin. He's a great quarterback, and I think he's somewhat underrated. He can actually sleep his way as an Heisman Trophy candidate. He's a great quarterback. It depends on his performance in his first year in the SEC Conference, but I do like him a lot. But I'm still going to stick with the Georgia Bulldogs in this matchup because Aaron Murray, he's well experienced. He's actually a Heisman Trophy candidate, a preseason All-American. He's a good, outstanding quarterback, and they have a good freshman running back in Todd Gurley. He rushed for over 100 yards last week in his first game against the against Buffalo. Buffalo Bulls is a good team. They had a pretty good defense, but they could not hold everything together against a good, explosive Georgia Bulldog offense. And I do like their defense a lot. Like I said, they're returning a lot of their key players, and I think they're going to dominate in this game at Mizzou. But Mizzou will put up a good fight because they have a good running game with Kendio Lawrence and James Franklin. And also they have still a young receiving corps, especially with #1 high school player last season, and Dorio Beckham. TJ Moore is back. They have a lot of weapons on that offensive side for Mizzou, and they had a good 63-point game last week in their first game. But they're playing in their first SEC game against one of the biggest teams in the SEC, probably the leaders of the SEC East, the favorites to win the SEC East, and I have to go with the Georgia Bulldogs because this is the number ranked 16 in the nation, and they have a good team overall, a little bit better than Mizzou in my opinion. So I'm going to have to go with the Bulldogs in this matchup. Now, next time I'm going to catch you guys is on Tuesday to give you a recap of week 2 of the college football season. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching today's vlog from Pro Football Exclusive. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.